Just a real short distance from Fez lies another one of Morocco's grand imperial cities, Meknes. This is a city that could surpass Fez. Now I'm currently in the new city part, but that's not the place you're interested in, is it? The old city is just over here. Let's go. Getting a taxi here is a little bit challenging. The roads are absolutely packed and the taxis are also packed full of people, but I managed to find a shared taxi here that has no one in yet, so here we go, off to the old city. And this is the part where the new city meets the old. The convergence of KFC, McDonald's, Pizza Hut and numerous other fast food places. Kind of weird, they're all just in this one spot here. Okay, now Meknes is known for its grand city gates, and which one do you think I've chosen to enter the old Medina from? Well, Bab El Khemis, of course, the Gate of Khemis. Let's go check it out. Okay, now a little word of warning as we step into the Medina here. Meknes has been on some serious reconstruction work for quite some time. I mean years. So the big sites here, they need a lot of restoration. And currently, some of them are completely closed down. So I'm going to see what I can see. And believe me, there's going to be plenty enough to fill a nice day around here. Very real feeling local market and, well, car park around here in the centre. Not what I would have expected around here at all. But kind of refreshing to see. Very different immediately to the centre of Fez. Okay, here we go. First on the list of places that we absolutely can't see here, we got the Bab El Mansour. So, supposedly this is the most beautiful of the gates in the whole of Morocco, built as a homage to Sultan Ismail, and now a large sheet of tarpaulin. Not even that well printed. But I bet when it's finished, it's going to be absolutely magnificent again. Now here behind me we have another really famous site in the city, the place Al-Hiddiim, the main central square. Now normally this is supposedly like a little Jam El Fnar in Marrakesh, the same sort of craziness, people selling stuff anywhere, loads of people, food, the snake charmers, all that kind of nonsense. But today, yeah, it's unfortunately a big building site here in the centre. Don't worry, we will head on, there will be other great things to see. So we're here anyway, let's take a look at the Lahdim Square. I'm kind of curious, out of a sick fascination, how do you close an entire square? I don't even know how such a thing is possible. Let's go see what action we can find. And I think the answer really has to be not very much action. There's just this one little street set up down through the square. But to be fair, Jam El Fnar at this time of the afternoon also isn't really doing very much apart from juice, so let's bear with it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and I will show you around all the best building sites in North Africa. I didn't really think this one through, did I? Well, I had been forewarned about that a little, to be fair, but I didn't quite expect what I saw there. Okay, this is going to be hard, but I am going to find you guys some stuff to look at that's not a building site. Okay, this is kind of one of these must-do things here really, so I'm going to give it a try also because I'm a bit lazy and I want to see some stuff that's not under renovation. So, going to get this lovely pink horse carriage.
Mausoleum of Moulay Ismail.
Ah, yes. Going through here, it starts to give me a feel of the grandeur of the royal palace area and the old fortress here. It's incredible.
Méthode Moulay, à droite, the palace.
Now travelling down here, I'm sure it doesn't look like that much on film, but it's incredible when you're actually seeing it. It just seems to go on forever, it's so big.
Et là le mèchoir, the King Palace King Palace.
Still the King's Palace.
King Palace. منو بطولة؟ نو 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 نو.
Oh.
السلام عليكم. مبروك عليك مبروك عليك مبروك عليك. ولأحفاد صاحبي تا هو.
And it's the royal stables here, another big site supposedly, but looks like it's also closed for renovation right now. And that's the former palace of Sultan Ismail. You got inside what should be a big lake, currently under the massive renovation project as well. The striking thing here is just the size of everything. It's absolutely incredible. They're doing so much work on so many things at once, but give this, I don't know, 10 years, whatever it needs to complete this, it's going to be incredible here. And look at that, what a treat! I'm heading through the Khemis Gate again.
La Puerta la Khemis. La Puerta la Khemis.
La Khemis, oh, not Khemis.
Yeah.
Khemis Gate.
La Khemis.
La Khemis. The gate's La Khemis. I'm just going to call it Khemis.
Yeah. La Puerta la Khemis. 120 avec please.
Well, that was an interesting way to see some of the city anyway for the first time, get a bit of a handle on it, and also see quite the extent of the renovation work on a lot of the sites here. It really does seem that you can't see most of the sites here right now. At least you can see them from outside, but yeah, even that's kind of limited. But it really is impressive. I mean, when this is finished, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Could this be bigger than FES? I mean, it's mind-blowing to think what this could be in a few years. Now what I do now know from that little horse tour is that you can actually get into this lovely square just behind the beautiful gate if you just go one further gate down. And this is much more peaceful, very far removed from the building work in the main square there. And the tower of the mosque here looks really impressive behind these grand walls with its beautiful green tile work. Now it's impossible to say anything about Meknes without mentioning Sultan Ismail. He was the longest reigning sultan in Moroccan history, reigning for 55 years in the 17th and 18th century. And this is his mausoleum right behind me. Now he was known for being an extremely brutal but also very important ruler in the history of Morocco. He was known just to kill people in a fit of rage. Now another little interesting fact about him, supposedly he also fathered over 800 children. Now, a lot's been written about him, and from what I've read, I'm very, very glad that I didn't actually meet him in person. But he's obviously added quite a legacy here to Meknes. So there we see, 2023 the restoration work is supposed to go on to. Well, it's September 23 now, and it looks like there's still a lot of work to do. And the building site that you see down here is the former Qara prison, also known as the prison of Christian slaves, where Sultan Ismail kept the slaves that he would use to build this city. Now supposedly there was space for around 60,000 people down there, but there was no doors. But supposedly no one ever escaped. I guess they must have been just too scared of the Sultan to even try. Okay, so I'm going for a bit of a walk again now, this time trying to find the royal palace again, but this time not in the back of a horse cart with a guy shouting at me in Spanish. So it looks really impressive around there, I've got to see it again. Now on the way there, I'm walking through the City Ama Hassini district, which seems to be either just by or part of the Medina, I'm not too sure, but hey, let's see what it has in store. Okay, we've got somewhere to sit there, stray dog, and a rather impressive minaret right there. Okay, let's have a quick look through this vacant lot slash car park. Looks like there might be quite a nice view out to the new part of the city. There we go, you can certainly see down into the valley and the newer part of the city below and past that. And then the Medina bending around here. Okay, a little bit rough, but a nice view. I think where I am now must actually be one of the lower gateways to the Medina. We see what looks like a Medina gate just behind. A lot of people going through there. We're going to carry on straight ahead. Should be the way to the royal palace. Yeah, I'm definitely on the right track here. I see it behind me, the mighty, mighty Medina walls that lead around the palace. I'm not quite sure how to get around to any kind of entrance gate here. I think this is a dead end though. Let's try again. And would you look at that, these grand palace walls, really well kept around here. I think I've found the way in. Always guaranteed plenty of nutters around here. Right, let's follow that nutter into the palace ground. The vast palace complex of Dar El-Makhzen that you find me in started life as a fortress back in the 13th century, but it was converted by Sultan Ismail into this huge palatial complex. It took decades to build and it ended up being bigger than the whole city itself. Historians later renamed this as the Versailles of Morocco, and it's obviously still in very active use. There's a lot of security around. I'm limited to what areas I can film and what I can't. And this really puts it in perspective. You see how far these walls run behind me down this street, how far the palace stretches. It's just crazy. You get an understanding of how in the older days this would actually have been bigger than the old city itself. But yeah, walking along there really is well worth doing because it just really puts the city in perspective. Why Sultan Ismail needed this huge army of slaves to build these crazy things around the city and make this grand city that we see today. And we come out of these grand areas near the palace, through gates and into these little tiny Medina-like streets again, leading to more gates. It's just not really distinct where you are. Am I within the Medina? Am I outside the Medina? I don't know, but it's wonderful just getting lost and finding my way around. And there we go. Again, I find myself spat out the other side of some grand walls. But you know, I'm still trying to answer the question, what can you actually do around here when it's just one big building site? Well, how about we try the souk? You cannot shut down a souk for building, right? We've got to see the real life there. Wow, just walking into the entranceway there, you're greeted by this incredible smell of fresh herbs. And quite a few people as well. There we go, the all too familiar smell of fish, the water on the ground. It's a little fish market here. Now this district I'm in at the moment, it's actually the former Jewish neighborhood, the Mela, which every Moroccan city seems to have. And this Mela nowadays seems to be the food market of the souk. Well, at least a food market. It doesn't seem that big around here, but it's certainly full of the local life. This isn't just the big tourist sites around here. And it definitely feels a lot different from FES. It's equally hard to find your way around. It's also equally hard to actually find what you want. But at the same time, there's no hassle here. Feels very different from the other souks I've been in recently. A lot more wide, a lot more open. Like, this is actually a proper street here. Not many people around at the moment though, maybe I'm just too early in the day. It's really no surprise, it goes with what I always say. You want to put your finger on the pulse of a city, see the life of it, go to the markets. Now, it definitely doesn't disappoint on that front here. While a lot of the obvious tourist sites are shut down, for good reason, the markets of course are still full of the usual life and they'll probably pick up a lot better later in the day. But there you go, even with the big sites of the city closed at the moment, there's still so much to offer here. There's another Medina gate up ahead. Wow, and this little hole in the wall leads me to this beautiful mausoleum and cemetery here. Really in the outskirts of the inner city part now. Wow, I've walked far. Well, you know, I don't quite believe that. I knew I'd walked a long way, but I seem to have reached the end of the city. There's nothing below but fields and mountains. As I said before in another video, there's something so unique about every souk in a Moroccan town or city. They're always different, they've always got their own character. And this one again in Meknes, so distinct, so unique, like nothing I've seen before here, but at the same time familiar. Well, it's always just fascinating to walk through these places and start to see some of the real life outside of the tourist sites, and here, the building work of course. And in this little part of the Medina and souk just off to the side, you got all what looks like these closed down shacks here. A little bit more open up with the sky above. But also, just around this little area, you got a load of really highly rated restaurants. Now, Restaurant Baraka here promises local food. They get a 4.8 on Google right now, so that's going to be worth a try, right? And would you look at this, isn't this full of character in here? It's absolutely beautiful, like this little riad. You have to knock the door to come in. And then you come into this, and it's just cool. It's absolutely beautiful, comfortable seats. Super quiet at the moment because I am eating at a really weird time. I've been go, 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 and now it's just kind of between lunch and dinner time. But hey, that's the way it goes. But wow, what a fantastic place already. Okay. Wow. Full egg like that, thank you. Shukran. Okay, now this is a dish that I've absolutely grown to love as I've been traveling across Morocco, and I've tried in countless different places in countless different towns and cities. Kefta tagine with an egg. It's always served with the egg in a tomato sauce, and it's always different wherever I had it, but it's always been delicious. So let's try the Meknes version at one of the top rated Meknes restaurants in the Medina. So you really have to get a bit of everything here. You've got to get a bit of the egg, a meatball, and some of this lovely tomato sauce to do this justice. Wow, that is a good one. The meatballs and the tomato sauce together really make one of these. And that is some tasty meatballs there, nice and meaty, but the tomato sauce as well, with this kind of chunky kind of feel to it, is really fresh, really delicious. Just really fresh tomato. No messing around there, no need for complex herbs and spices, just tasty, natural flavours. Oh, that's a delight. Now that was an absolutely beautiful little place. Really charming and delicious food as well. What's not to love about that? Now, I knew we'd find some of the real life of the city around the souk and that sort of area, but where can we find more? Well, how about the new town outside of the Medina? Actually, where I'm staying. Let's go and explore there, see what's going on. I seem to have taken a wrong turn already, but that really is always the joy of these places. I've definitely come up too far. I'm going to try another turn and see where that leads me. It should be the right direction, but hey, I'll get back to you. I'll probably go around in a circle. Now, I think I've been down this street before. Google tells me there's a way out this way. But hey, I've been burnt by that one before, so let's see. Not holding my breath. And would you look at that? I've done it. I've come out onto a, I guess, fairly normal style street. There's a nice closed park down there. But this is absolutely not another winding Medina alley. This is something different. Just when I was thinking the Medina was actually nothing more than big streets and cars, I get completely and utterly lost in this little pedestrian area. Still, we're far from back at the new city yet. It looks kind of awesome walking by the Medina walls here. And as you can see, there is actually ways in and out of the Medina. They're just very small and very dark. And so much for the grand gates that we saw earlier, not in this part of town it seems. And there we go, I see the Medina walls right by me here. The other side, there's a very secure swimming pool area it seems. Razor wire behind me. The swimming pool completely devoid of water. But it looks like a popular place, at least for wild dogs. But the interesting thing is just past this. In the distance, we see the sign that we're finally leaving the Medina in the old town and entering the new. The Golden Arches. Yep, that place in Meknes where McDonald's meets Pizza Hut meets who knows what else. It's all there. And there you go. You can see that things have quickly changed quite a lot. Bye-bye to the old Medina. Hello to the new city. And the city changes a lot in this part as well. It suddenly turns to big tower blocks, apartment blocks. Well, kind of like where I'm staying. It feels very different here. It feels a lot busier, but it feels a lot more practical as well. I mean, this is where people can actually live. Yeah, you could live in the Medina, but it would be hard. That's why I don't even want to stay there for the few days that I'm here. But yeah, this is progress. This is the new Meknes. Meknes has the potential to be so incredible when the building work's complete, when the big sites are back to their full glory, if it's done right. This is a city that could surpass FES. Maybe in the future people will be staying here and doing day trips to FES even. I'd love to come back and see it, that's for sure. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm going to be leaving to Casablanca tomorrow, just spending an evening there and a night there, and then I'm flying to a whole new country. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and this whole series, I guess, from Morocco. It's been great to return and see some new places. There'll be plenty more coming, so if you did enjoy this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.